It is looking very good for our boy Biscuit Oliva, who is kinda beating up Sukune at this point, countering everything, and doing a few things that are pretty insane. First, the long-awaited return of his ball or Pac-Man technique, something he revealed during his fight with Baki, one of the most strange techniques in the whole Baki world. It has returned and he is using it on Sukune. We have strength tests, various exchanges, and a few more interesting things to talk about throughout today's video. But first, if you're new to the channel and enjoy fighting manga or Baki content, consider hitting that subscribe button, it's greatly appreciated. Now, let's get into the video. Most importantly, comment down below which you think is better, the triangle or the inverted triangle. This is very important for various reasons, and I guess the end of the fight we'll know the truth about which one is better suited for fighting. If you go back to their original fight, that was actually meant to be a sumo match. However, Oliva is claiming this time it's going to be an ancient sumo match, pretty much a regular fight, anything goes when it comes to ancient sumo. So Oliva going to be using techniques as I've already discussed and pretty much going all out. As a previous fight, Oliva didn't really know what Sukune was capable of, didn't know about his insane grip strength and that he could pretty much just break his back like that. This time Oliva is aware of the dangers and is facing Sukune with pretty much everything he has. With this being clearly represented by him already countering Sukune's back-breaking ability just straight away. Sukune went for that as like his clutch move and Oliva just straight out counters it. Something to also note, Oliva was straight away able to damage Sukune quite a bit. Once again, another step up compared to their first fight at the start of Baki now. And then when we get to see their strength test, this is actually something that occurred long ago during the Oliva vs Yujiro exchange. This was right before Yujiro's big fight with Baki at the end of Son of Ogre. This is the original pretty much strength exchange where Yujiro demonstrated that he's stronger than the likes of Oliva. We get to see this pretty much same thing occurring between Oliva and Sukune here, where Oliva says you aren't too strong to Sukune and it's pretty much making him go down lower and lower as Yujiro did to Oliva back during their exchange. So that is pretty cool to see Oliva getting some type of revenge when it comes to doing this. Of course, this is just more or less funny to see. Maybe you're a little lower than me, so does this mean Oliva is physically stronger than the likes of Sukune now? That could be the implication. We even have Sukune using his arm like this to try and stop Oliva, and it's like not even working. So yeah, Sume is getting shit on even more and more, which does beg the question of what was even the point of the whole Sumo arc if we weren't really gonna see Sukune get really any big wins outside of like defeating the sumo boys. Like it seems like Oliver's going to win this. He already lost against Yujiro and Jack, and I guess kinda Baki as well, so what's even the point? He's injured I guess for life with losing his pinky against Jack, which does come up during the Raws, which I'll discuss now. So I think it's safe to say that this potentially nerfed version of Sukune is weaker than current Oliva when it comes to physical strength based on their exchange there, with Sukune needing to counter and land his iconic like slap to the face, which Oliva pretty much tanks in I guess the exact same way Jack tanked it back during their first exchange. You can look at the two panels on screen now. Jack tanked it like that, Oliva tanked it like that, pretty much the exact same thing. You could argue this is a weaker Sukune, but it's really a slap. I don't see a reason why his pinky being pretty much destroyed would lower the power of this. So Jack and Oliva comparable in being able to tank this, which is pretty interesting. Jack rose for the ranks after defeating Sukune, and I guess if Oliva does win this fight, he'll be around Jack level, potentially building up himself fighting Jack in the future, which could be pretty hype and a fight I guess most people have been wanting for quite some time now. And I even prepared to make a video of Oliva vs Jack in pretty much every arc, and then in the manga we had the reveal that Jack is fighting Sukune, so I kind of delayed that and didn't think it was really worth making. But if Oliva wins this, my Jack vs Oliva video could be back in the works, and I am very excited to work on that. And of course, the latest chapter when it comes to the Raws is Biscuit Oliva entering his Pac-Man form, and Sukune jumping up into the air and landing this direct kick, and that is all we currently know. So, is Sukune going to be able to break Oliver's Pac-Man with this kick, or this huge stomp, whatever you want to call it, or is he going to be eaten? It's going to be interesting to see Oliver actually attempt to eat Sukune, considering how much bigger he is. It's not like Baki, who's tiny in comparison to Oliver. Sukune is larger than Oliver when it comes to overall size, so it's going to be pretty wacky to even see that. Unless he's developed it more in another way, or there's another variation of it we haven't really seen. Or we could very well have Sukune countering the technique in some way. That would be pretty interesting as well. But I'm excited. I've been waiting to see Oliver use this technique for like so long now. Hopefully another technique we haven't seen him kind of use at all. But it seems like Oliver is going to actually win this fight. Then I don't know where the story is going at this point. I'm probably going to make a full dedicated video discussing this. But what is the direction the Baki story is currently taking? We're very clearly still in, I guess, the fandom named Sumo arc, as we're following Sukune after the whole Keiha situation. Are we going to transition into a Jack dedicated arc? Or are we going to continue seeing Sukune, him lose fight after fight after fight, and then are we going to cut back to someone like Keiha or something like that? I wonder what we're going to do. It's going to be pretty interesting, but I'm really just confused on where the story is currently going. Like, after this fight, are we going to go back to like Yujiro for a chapter? Are we going to get Baki to actually do anything for Baki Dao, as he hasn't really done much at all? He had that exchange with Dopper at the start of the manga. He had his exchange with Sukune. He had his sumo fight. And that's really all Baki has done. Out of all the manga series, this has been the one where Baki has got the least amount of shine, if I'm being honest. What's his current goal as well? Are we going to get the return of characters like Pickle? Are we going to get another tournament? What's Yujiro currently planning to do outside of, I guess, maybe preparing to fight Jack, as Jack's called out everyone? This is very interesting stuff. Let me know your thoughts on this down below. One more thing to consider is that the stocks of both Sukune and Oliva are fully relying on the outcome of this fight. If Oliver was to lose a second time against Sukune, he would be so far deep in the mud where he hasn't had a victory since like the Rattai tournament, where that was this, I guess, fodder for most of the Baki characters. That is a really long time, like I believe close to 20 years of Baki serialization, which is just wild to think about. If Sukune was to lose this fight, that's just another loss on his record, pretty much rivaling the likes of Ali Jr. at this point. Came in, maybe had a few wins against these fodder unnamed characters we'll never see again, and then pretty much this loses against everyone. Is Sukune going to have a Ali Jr. treatment and be on like that tier of getting shit on in the story after all this? We'll have to wait and see, but yeah, it might be unfortunate for one of these characters. And that should be everything for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to check out all the other stuff in the description. Shout out to the mad lads who support the channel via the Patreon. But that's it, guys. Peace.